What is going on YouTube? Alright, if you guys remember, back in August, I made the big overview video of my collection. You remember myself and Jimmy did the long video going over everything I had in my collection at the time. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. If you're a sports memorabilia fan, you'll love it. The reason I'm making this video today is because it was one part of my collection I really only got to show for a second, and I really wanted to show. And that was my collection of Ring magazines. Ring magazine, if anybody doesn't know, is basically a boxing magazine that came out in the 20s, and it's still going on today, even though boxing has lost a lot of its popularity. Rocky Marciano has been my favorite fighter as long as I can remember. Obviously, I was not around to see the man fight, but he's always been my favorite. Actually, ironically, where that started was with Rocky Balboa. I mean, when I was a kid and saw Rocky for the first time, I fell in love with that movie. And if you remember, he had a poster of Marciano in his apartment. So I wanted to learn more about this. Who is this guy? And as a little kid, I'm in the library while other kids are taking out books on dinosaurs and fantasy books and things like that. I'm sitting there with boxing encyclopedias looking these old fighters up. And the more I learned about him, the more I liked him. And like I say, he's been my favorite as long as I can remember. So at a certain point, I just decided, you know what? I'm going to see if I can get all the Rocky Marciano covers of Ring magazine during his career. Now, I'm not sure if I have every single one from his career where he's depicted on the cover, but at least I know I'm pretty close. Rocky Marciano's career span, his first fight was 1947, and he announced his retirement in 1956, but it's technically his last fight was 55. He really didn't get real world recognition until obviously his epic fight with Joe Louis. So most of these magazines I have are from the early to mid 50s. But it's a nice little collection that I'd like to share with you guys. So this is the earliest one I have. I kind of have them in order. So this is from November 1951, and I always loved the artwork on the cover of these magazines. And of course, I gotta mention, none of these would be complete without good old Charles Atlas on the back. Go from a chump to a champ, send away and look like this guy in no time. He's on the back of every single one of these, no joke. And you know what? Even if you don't get these to collect, if you just get one of these and just flip through them, it's great. You look at these, they got old stats, and they talk about upcoming fights that we all know now, but at the time was greatly anticipated. And honestly, you can pick these up very inexpensive to pick a lot of these up, and it's just great to skim through. It's great pieces of history. So I'm just going to show you all the covers that I happen to own. Here's a May 52. Got Marciano, Walcott, Harry Matthews as a Charles. This is a nice cover. December 52. Is Rocky Marciano another Dempsey? I love that illustration. Like I said, the artwork on the covers of these are beautiful. It's Marciano against Walcott. Official ratings, May 53. It's a nice one. Marciano, the Brockton Blockbuster. This is honestly my favorite cover. I've always loved this one. This one's definitely my favorite. I'm sure most people know. For those of you who don't know, Marciano is the only heavyweight champion to ever retire undefeated. 49 fights, 49 wins. 43 by knockout. No losses, no draws. This is a nice one too. Marciano versus Charles. They had two great fights. You ever want to watch some of these fights, pretty much are all on YouTube. And Great battles. I tell you what, he had a right hand. Just that. You'll see. Check it out. This is a great cover also. Another one with Marciano and Charles. Rocky Marciano, heavyweight champion. This is one, actually, my wife got this for me a long time ago at a card shop. Yep. This was this was Rocky Marciano's last fight against Archie. That was a great fight also. And this was ironically the last one on my list, but the first one I ever got. This is February 1956. Rocky Marciano, Fighter of the Year. It's great. Has Sugar Ray Robinson on the cover. Definitely, without a doubt, the greatest pound-for-pound fighter of all time, Sugar Ray Robinson. And Carmen Basilio, who was another one of my favorite fighters, on the bottom. But, yeah, so that's the ring magazines in my collection. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys next time.